can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York.
How we doing, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I am your host, Richie, here with my guys, Window 2, Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco from the Bronx.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing, man? Window 3, host of The Sports Corner, my man, Mr. Johnny Nast.
Hello, everybody.
Good to see you, fellas. On tonight's show, we're going to be hitting on the deets, everything you need to know about Week 2 in the NFL. But before we go there, got to speak on this for a quick second. We've got some crazy fans that have really just been wanting to be a little more as part of the entertainment. As in the last week, we've seen an Eagle fan run out with the team on opening night. That's kind of like that's kind of like juvenile. That's not really the upper course of fuckery. However, I give them credit for being creative.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not spending those kind of prices to go spend the weekend, or at minimum the night, in the cell, when you consider how much money. And these aren't the same amenities as the original vet, where they had a holding cell there at the stadium.
Right.
So that was one of the amenities of the vet. You kind of, put it in the holding tank.
Yeah.
We have Philadelphia Karen in the Miami Marlins Philadelphia Phillies game. Shouts out for being a good dude to Harrison Bader, doing right by that young fan. Baseball etiquette 101, guys. If there is a young child behind you, I was in a situation like this last season. Randy Arozarena, in between innings, threw a ball into our section after recording the final out against my Yankees. I caught it barehanded, and I felt a little hand behind me. It was a 4-year-old boy.
Mm.
I look at my, at the time, 7-year-old, and I said, Noah, under normal circumstances, I would want you to have this ball, but this little guy is younger than you. So I handed him the ball. That's baseball etiquette. Not that moron at Citi Field that stole the ball, literally, out of the hands. And this is like seconds and seconds. The NFL, when they said, did he make a football move? This guy made a baseball move, set his ass back down. The guy probably 30 years younger than him just rips the ball out. And I'm like, guys, there's no nice way to say this. What the fuck is wrong with these fans?
Well, look at the World Series last year with the guys that were basically holding Mookie Betts' hand.
Right.
And can't forget about that one either. Come on.
Yeah,
I was going to mention that one.
Our fan base is not excluded from this mess. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, dude? And it wasn't like literally. I tried to rip the glove off him. I'm like, what are you idiots doing?
Yeah. I don't know, man. That one in Philly, the lady, she was just that was bad. That was bad.
And there was
she got fired though. She lost her job, man.
Yeah, there was a misinterpretation of who she was originally, because there was another person who was getting a lot of heat on X, and then they realized that it wasn't her.
Yeah. She was out of pocket, man.
And then
I got to say about Philly fans, and I'm a New Yorker, but I love Philly fans, man. I ain't gonna lie.
He's just saying that because I'm you.
No. You know what? You know why I like Philly fans? Philly fans are like, they kind of like, they remind me of us, our fans, but they also remind me of like freaking Boston Red Sox fans. Philly fans, like
our fans before we got spoiled.
Yeah, before we got spoiled. Philly fans, I respect Philly fans, man. Philly fans are just like, y'all crazy as hell. That's why I like y'all.
That's my buddy Miz.
Okay, yeah, I love Philly fans.
That's Miz, one of my friends from Nobody Sports. That's Miz, we call him.
What's up, man?
Well, welcome to the show, Miz.
Welcome to the
Thanks
show,
for
man.
hanging.
Because see, when I was in Philly, 2 years ago, I was in Philly. I always go to Germantown and get me a Philly, and it was just cool being out there with the Philly dudes. I had my New York Giants thing on, they were clowning me, but it was cool. It's like we wasn't beefing. It was like we knew we were rivals, but we was out there waiting on food, just clowning until the one Cowboy fan walked up, and that's when we just all teamed up and. Yeah. But I got mad love for Philly fans, man, for real.
Well, that's always been the weird thing about our division is that, the Dallas Cowboys, while being the most valuable franchise in all of professional sports in this country, they geographically make no sense in the NFC East when you consider the Turnpike rivalry. The two stadiums are so close. You got DC, home of the Commanders. And, I've said this to friends. Keith Woolridge, perfect example. When he vents to me about his frustrations with Jerry Jones, I always liken him to a grouchy George Steinbrenner that spent a decade trying to find a way to make Dave Winfield uncomfortable. Until he finally, left New York because he realized he wasn't Reggie Jackson. I think he realized that about 8 minutes after he gave him that contract. But, this fandom, there's layers to it, because the woman, the Texans jersey, the JJ Watt jersey, that was like bloodied up and shit. Like there's levels to it, and some of it is just drunken debauchery. You see it at least 10 good videos a year of the NFL season when you get like the drunken debauchery. Once again, levels of this. Like you get the funny guy that runs on the field with the Eagles. That's funny. That's some shit that Brett would do. I can see Brett doing some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
I ain't gonna lie, dude. I might have done that too. I'm not gonna...
But like you had said, the amount of money that you are spending to go to these games anymore, then you're now receiving a lifetime ban. Was it worth it? Like the guy up in Buffalo pushing Lamar Jackson. Like, come on.
Yeah. But I'm in North Carolina now, so I can go to a Panther game. And I might spend like $20 to get in the game, so it's worth it there. But if I go to New York,
no. With the Orlando Magic not playing far from where I live, like the cheap seats are really affordable. But because I got so spoiled with Brett's plug, getting like the seats damn near courtside, it's almost like it feels weird going to a game now when you're not like right there. Because I remember when we went back when D Rose was wrapping things up with the Knicks. This is like the Orlando home opener a couple years back. That was that Obi Toppin dunk, in-game dunk that looked like a dunk contest. The Knicks had crushed a 3-point franchise record that day. But we see it, man. And Malice in the Palace, I think, was necessary to a level because it needed to be known that these athletes could kick some ass if they need to, because sometimes things just get a little too close. It was unfortunate that one of the dudes that got snuffed out wasn't even the guy who threw the beer at Ron Artest. Artest just didn't want a part of Ben Wallace. But that changed things big time in sports. You've seen it as recently as the Buffalo game, messing with D-Hop and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's a decent dude, but I would have done the same shit that he did.
You have to. You gotta protect yourself and your teammates. Because you don't know anymore in this day and age who has what on them or what. Like it's sad, but it's a scary reality anywhere you go.
And I'll be honest, Johnny. if Lamar would have took it a step further and actually got a couple of legit shots in, I don't necessarily think that he should have been suspended if he even went that far. But I will say this. I do think that sometimes with these very fierce rivalries, the players sometimes take it a step further on behalf of the fans. I mean, unfortunately, week 1, opening game of the season, we saw it kind of overshadow what was a really good football game between the Dallas Cowboys and your Philadelphia Eagles. You guys won the game. I think you would probably agree that you weren't your sharpest, and I don't think the delay did a favor for either team. But, championship caliber teams find ways to win, and that's what you guys did. The Miles Sanders fumble definitely was a turning point there. But I'm kind of referring to, the bigger parts in the beginning. I personally think Dak Prescott baited him after looking at enough videos. But at the same time, you've got to be a little smarter. And Jalen Carter, unfortunately, since his beginnings in the NFL, has always been that guy that's always on the edge where he's going to do some irresponsible shit that's going to hurt his teammates.
Yeah, I think with that game,
John, I think you're 100% right. If you go by Miz, I believe you're 100% right, bro. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think with that game also, I think Jalen Carter not being in the game was a huge difference too. Because I feel if Jalen Carter's in that game, it's not a 24-20 win. I think it's more like 30 to like 17.
Yeah, because they targeted a lot of the places where
they were right at it. Yeah, and they didn't have that. They didn't have that pass rush. They didn't have that guy like we got Dexter Moore. They didn't have that guy in the middle. And it's just the first game of the season too. Because first game of the season, some teams come out hot, then simmer like New Orleans did last year, and then some teams come out slow and then pick it up. So I'm not going to take too much out of the first game because, the starters don't hardly even play in preseason. So when they actually get in the game, the first game of the season, that's their really first chance really going hard. So I think this next game is when you say, okay, let's start evaluating how our teams look. Now, for our Giants, it's a whole different thing, but we'll talk about them later.
Oh, that is a hard evaluation, and I'm not going to give them mercy. Go ahead, Johnny.
We're not playing in the preseason. You can see it hurting these guys more because you got so many soft tissue injuries after week 1 because these guys aren't used to being up to full speed. They're not used to taking hits. Look how many hamstring injuries you got. Look how many
Yes, sir.
wackadoodle injuries that you wouldn't normally get.
Exactly. I've been on that for a while on previous shows because if you look at the most violent eras of this league, particularly the 70s and 80s, even the 90s was pretty violent. You had head trauma. You had things of that nature. You had a more unhealthy way of guys getting back on the field. But what you didn't have was those non-contact injuries at this ridiculous ratio. And you make a solid point, and I agree with it. These dudes don't really get into game shape until damn near week 4 now.
Yeah.
You've cut the preseason by a game, unless if you play in the Hall of Fame game. And, the way that they go about practice now, because I remember the old days, the old adage was, we're going to beat the shit out of each other so bad to make sure that nobody else could do that to us.
Yeah.
But things have changed. And, I understand the NFLPA has to look out for guys, but there has to be a better happy medium because you have too many dudes getting hurt and getting hurt for long periods of time because of the point that Johnny made. I actually really agree with it. And yes, if Brandon Graham was out there, absolutely. That dude was the locker room leader, and he would not tolerate that shit.
Spot on comment right there.
Yeah.
BG, Fletcher Cox. I mean, there's a number of defensive leaders we had over the years who, if they were on that team, Jalen Carter's like putting his place like, well, back up.
Absolutely. And even a guy that didn't play defense, a guy like a Jason Kelsey, who was the heartbeat of that team in a lot of ways, he would have been all over his ass too.
Yeah.
But it's an unfortunate thing because such a talented player, but if you're on the coaching staff and if you're upstairs, you have to ask yourself, can we trust this guy in a big moment to control himself and not screw us? And the answer right now is probably not, and that's unfortunate.
Well, he's going to be on a thin leash right now, too. The NFL will watch everything he does.
That's the thing.
Has his
Your
punishment come down
reputation
yet?
precedes itself.
Has his punishment come down yet?
No, they said basically him getting kicked out of that game served as a 1-game suspension because he didn't technically play in the game, and then they took his game check, which was like $57,000.
Okay, I think that's good, but
I'll be real, he's getting off light.
Yeah, but he got to chill now because next time that happens, they're going to drop him for a few days. They're going to lay him down, man. And,
well, it's like in the workplace when you're trying to get rid of a bad employee. Now you start the paper trail.
Yeah, and he's a good player, man. I mean, come on, man. You're playing the Cowboys.
The guy's talent is not in question.
Yeah, you're playing the Cowboys. It's not your crosstown rival, but it's your heated rival. You hate the Cowboys.
Especially in more recent times because those have been the two most successful teams in the division in recent time.
Yeah, but I think Dak baited him, to be honest with you. I really do.
Oh, they were definitely jawing, but Dak was smart enough to spit on the ground.
He's savvy with it. Yeah,
I know he talked that crap to him, no question about
it. Yeah, Dak was smart. I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, he was smart. He played it right.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
While Dak may have been smart, I don't necessarily think what Jerry fed this team was that smart. We got the Washington Commanders at 1-0 going to Lambeau to take on the Packers Thursday Night Football. Green Bay defense last week completely shut down the skill positions on every metric for the Detroit Lions, and rushing the ball with that two-headed monster of Montgomery and Gibbs was just not adequate. They did not get it going. Everyone had a quiet game, and you got to take into consideration that Micah Parsons is still learning that playbook and still kind of being brought along, I should say, slowly. So he didn't even play as many downs as he will by the time October rolls around.
But he was there.
Oh, he certainly was. He had his pressures. He recorded a sack.
He was there.
Jordan
he had
Love.
a few hurries. Yeah, he had a few hurries too. Yeah, he was there. I'll be honest with you. Even with beating the Giants last week, I wasn't really impressed with Washington. To be honest with you, I wasn't. I think they should have beat us worse, but maybe our defense is better when I thought we are. But I don't see this being close. They're in Lambeau. That Green Bay defense was already good before they got Micah. Micah's going to learn the playbook some more. He'll be even better this week. I'm seeing 28, 17. I'm going Green Bay. Green Bay.
Yeah,
I think Mike gets a sack.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love really looked great last week. And it's something that I called for with the Lions struggling without those two coordinators that are head coaching right now.
Yeah.
The Commanders, what they did well last week was get the rookie, Crosby Merritt going, solidifying that he's going to probably be, the running back ahead of Eckler. Eckler is your passing back, your receiving back, I should say. But I agree with you, Idris, that when the Giants gave them multiple opportunities early on to put them away, they didn't do it. It took way deeper into the game. And, while I wasn't a big fan of that Malik Neighbors call downfield that wasn't called.
It wasn't called, yeah.
At the same time, I'm not going to make excuses because we saw the ineptitude of not just the offensive line, but the play calling all day, but particularly in the red zone. I mean, listen, I thought Wilson was kind of slow on his progressions, but that's on Dable. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's on Brian Dable. You got to get more creative. And, I understand that you don't want to abandon the run game. But when you are getting held up literally by the time that your quarterback's handing you the ball, you have got to abandon that and hope that the pass could open up the run. But the play calling was piss poor for a guy who claims to be a quarterback whisperer.
Yeah. Kafka's doing the calls, but still, Kafka should know. Both of them should know, regardless of who's calling.
They both wore the hats, but at the end of the day,
they both should know.
Dable should, and that's why I mentioned him by name.
Yeah, they both should know, man. Regardless, yeah,
and
you should know.
It's okay to blitz once in a while,
Yeah.
I thought Abdul Carter played all right, but at the same time, I don't think Abdul Carter had enough downs.
No, he didn't get enough downs.
How is it the 6th or 7th play in the game, and the best player in the draft gets on the field finally? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He should have been in there
right
from the beginning. But Jaden Daniels, you know, the guy responds to pressure well. You know, the Giants, when they did get the heat on him, he was able to have the aptitude, get the ball out of his hands, work in his tight end, Zach Ertz, and just make some really excellent throws. You know, that is a dual threat quarterback, and he could really read a defense. But I agree. They have to be better if they're going to beat Green Bay, and I don't think they will. You know, Jordan Love was putting these balls on a dime where he was leading his receivers to the football. He wasn't throwing at the receivers. He was throwing the spots, and the receivers were picking it up. Give me the Packers, and there are going to be some points in this one. Give me the Packers 30. Give me the Washington Commanders 20. I think the Packers are going to pitch a shutout in the fourth, and that's going to be the difference. Mr. Nast, out of these two teams yesterday, who are you more impressed with, and how do you think this thing goes?
I mean, it could go either which way. I mean, both teams have both good young quarterbacks. I mean, but I think based off the environment, you got to give the edge to Green Bay slightly. I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit closer. I mean, I think Jaden Daniels holds his own. Jordan Love's going to come in home, do what he has to do. But I'd say probably Green Bay like 28-23.
Okay, so you got it within a one-score game.
Washington.
Yeah, I'll be honest. You know, there's a lot of week one overreactions. But through 1 week, the two teams that I picked in the Super Bowl look like the two best teams in each conference because I give that other one to the Buffalo Bills as of right now.
Yeah, I got Buffalo and Philly.
They were quiet. And we're going to get on that in a bit.
Well, before you move on to your next game, I ask you guys a question since you're both Giants fans.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a highlight, and it's right on the goal line. Washington knew to play the Giants were planning on running. Why do you not audible? Why do you not change the play?
We're trying to figure that out.
This is not a wet behind the ears quarterback. This is a guy that's played in Super Bowls. This is a guy that's been to
you see them knowing the play, change it.
Change. And you know something, Matt Nance, that's what I've told a lot of our fans. They can say, no. I said, look, Russell Wilson's been in this league long enough. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He should know at the line, okay, these guys in whatever 3-4, 4-3, 46. What he should look at it like, okay, I need an audible.
To point at the player he's going to.
Right, he should know it.
I thought it was Jones out there for a little while because what made me sick too, on that first time around on the goal line, Wilson could have walked it in.
Walked right in.
You had another play where Darius Slayton was unaccounted for, and Wilson never saw him.
Never saw him.
It was just like, I understand when you're getting hit, the quarterback clock does get a little crazy and things get out of hand. But I'm sorry. After all the hype of how Russell was resurrected, I expected a little more out of him last week. And all I could hope is that the New York Giants could get cooking a little earlier on offense because 0-2 is around the corner.
He didn't really play that well in preseason.
He didn't really play that much in general.
Yeah, he didn't play it well.
Denver may be coming sooner than people think. Remember last week I had said Jackson Dart probably by December 1st. And Russell keeps making those mental errors. You're going to see Jackson Dart sooner.
I'd rather put in Jameis and let Jackson sit. Put Jameis.
Honestly, if you want to win games, that's how I would roll with it too. For the simple, they're not going to. But the thing that worries me, I don't want Jackson Dart back before Andrew Thomas.
Right, exactly.
And I don't believe Thomas will be back this week either. But we've got the New York Giants traveling to Arlington to take on the Cowboys. Both 0-1. Cowboys had a better performance than the Giants did in week 1. Giants defense is showing some promise, but we're already getting on some of the problems. Bottom line is, and it's not that complicated, if the offensive line doesn't improve, and we saw this last year when Andrew Thomas went down, the offensive line imploded with that injury. He's not back yet, and his absence is very obvious and very missed. As the Cowboys go, what I found most impressive last week, even though they lost, was that they were able to hold Saquon Barkley to a quiet game. You know, coming off the 2K season, 60 yards on the ground. And it is Philly's staple right now to play bully ball, and they're not going to be lighting it up through the air right now. There's going to be matchups that present that opportunity, but right now, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And you're going to see Devontae Smith as well as AJ Brown frustrate their fantasy owners. But as the game goes, keys to victory, Dak, his fantasy score doesn't reflect how he played. I thought Dak played okay, but unfortunately for him, he was let down by some big time drops, and then you had the fumble. I'll be honest, if the Giants don't get after Dak early and often, they're looking directly at 0-2. And unfortunately, I think that's exactly how this is going to play out. I like what I saw out of Javonte Williams. I like the way that Dallas was able to spring him for some runs because the Philly defensive front, even with some of the changing parts, is still a very good unit. Give me the Dallas Cowboys 27. Give me the New York Giants 20. I think the Giants keep it within a score, but unfortunately they fall to 0-2. I think the only positive is that the offense is going to look a little more functional. Gentlemen, have at it.
Yeah, I hate going against my team, so I'm a spin it a different way. I think everything's predicated on Russell Wilson. That Dallas pass rush, it's not like it was last year with Micah did. It's not. So I think if our O-line can look decent, and it's crazy how Andrew Thomas is one player and he's out, and the whole offensive line just goes down.
Yeah,
it's like,
he is the most important player on that unit.
It's insane. And I think if the O-line can play decent, even decent, because we didn't play decent last week. We have the running backs that can run the ball. We got the receivers that can catch. We got the quarterback when he ain't got his head in his ass that can throw the ball. Because Russ can put he has a pretty pass. He got that deep. So Dallas' defense, I think their D-line is pretty good. Not great, but I think good. I think the middle, I think their linebackers are decent. I think the back end, I think they're still coming around because Diggs is still coming back from an injury. Bland is still coming back. So I think back there, we can get them back there with Neighbors, with Slayton, with Wandale going across the middle, whatever. Dak's going to do Dak. And I think CeeDee's going to be hungry this week. So, and it's going to be hard stopping CeeDee and Pickens. So,
yeah, Pickens coming off quiet night.
Yeah,
CeeDee had some.
He's going to be hungry too. He's going to be hungry, and their running back Williams is pretty good though.
Yeah, when he's healthy, he can play, and he didn't have that health in Denver. But when healthy, he should be able to figure to be the one for the remainder of the season.
I don't like picking against. I'm not going to say Dallas is going to win. I'm going to say the Giants are going to lose 27-17. I'll be damned if I say Dallas is going to win. Giants lose 27-17. I'll be damned.
I was really surprised with Jalen Carter or not last week. Dallas' offensive line surprised me.
Yeah.
Even without Jalen Carter, they kept Dak clean most of the night. Yeah, he got a couple pressures and stuff. I mean, the run game was good. CeeDee was good for the first three quarters before he started at that Butterfinger. So can the Giants get home on Dak, unlike Philly did? And apparently, Philly has one of the top tier defenses, and Dallas held their own.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I could see a good back and forth game. Both teams need to win this because it's not just 0-2; it's an 0-2 division start.
Division, right?
You can in this division, you don't want to start 0-2 in division play.
Not to mention, you might get a pissed off Chiefs team in week 3 if you're the 0-2 Giants.
Yeah, because the Chiefs might be 0-2 this week too.
Exactly.
But that being said, me being the wise ass I am when it comes to New York and Dallas, you're not going to be 0-2. You're going to be 0-1-1.
Hey!
I'll give a draw.
I like it.
I'll take that.
I can't pick this game. I'm sorry.
Dude, it was hard for me. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather kiss my sister than take a loss. Give me that time.
Yep. I'm staying by my team.
The problem is, just
But you're
don't
right,
think the
Nas.
Giants
Everything you said was right.
have
For real.
improved well enough against the run. And that is
Right.
my concern. And to Johnny's point, Dallas's O-line impressed him. They also impressed
Yeah.
me. I didn't expect
Me
it.
too. Me neither.
And
But
Yeah.
Jalen Carter was the missing link because you have
Right,
someone
yeah,
like
the
Mojo
defense, yeah,
Umo, who wasn't expected to play 90% of the snaps,
yeah,
got thrown in there. Jordan Davis had a hell of a game,
He did.
but
But he's not Jalen Carter. Yeah.
that offensive line did its job.
Yeah.
Now, can they do that versus Thibodeau, Brian Burns, Carter, Lawrence, and all that?
And
This is another big test for them.
Dexy, yeah. We'll see.
yeah, you got to apply the heat. But Bowen has to grab his nutsack and go friggin' blitz the quarterback a little.
They go
I
after.
miss Wink Martindale in that regard because we would get
Wink go after.
burned sometimes. But we're gonna get after the quarterback.
Yeah, Wink went after you.
I'm going with
Right.
the tie, 17-17.
I'll take
I'm
it.
sticking to it.
A rematch of Super Bowl XL as the Seahawks travel to Pittsburgh, taking on the 1-0 Steelers. Aaron Rodgers turning it back, looking like the State Farm double check guy. Was that
All right,
is
Miz.
that going to be sustainable, gentlemen? Was this just the Jets jetsing? Because let's be real, the Jet offense looked pretty good week 1.
Aaron Rodgers is back.
Not for nothing.
He's
I do
back.
think that there's a little validity to the fact that Aaron Rodgers could be back. Keys to victory for the Seahawks. I don't think it's that complicated. On the O line versus the D line, battle in the trenches. If Walker can do his thing, Charbonnet gets sprinkled in a little. It's going to make life a little easier for Sam Darnold to get his big receiver in it, Jackson. Jesus, I'm having
Nixon, yeah.
Nixon, yeah.
Thank you. Tongue tied for a moment.
Like who?
Pittsburgh's coming off a bad defensive performance, although they won. I just don't see it happening 2 weeks in a row, particularly that it's going to be their home opener against an interconference rival that has to make that trip from the Pacific Northwest. I don't like Seattle's chances this week, and I just see them coming out flat. I think the Steelers are going to run them, actually, if I'm being all the way honest. I don't know if Rodgers is going to have the kind of game he did against the Jets, but I don't necessarily think he'll have to. I think the Steelers win the turnover battle 3-0. Give me the Steelers 30. Give me the Seattle Seahawks 13. I think they're going to take them behind and just kind of beat them up here. I like the Steelers in a convincing victory here.
Yeah, me too. I think Rodgers is going to light Seattle up, man. I just feel he's going to light them up, man. I'm seeing him having the same type of game he had this past week. Because he was hitting DK like, and John, he looked like, he had the time and everything. And even though that defense gave up a lot and Aaron scored a lot on the Jets, I think the Jets are better than what we think on defense. It's just, I think Aaron Rodgers had what he had. And I think with the defense, Pittsburgh's defense, I think the Jets came, I think they had to deal with Justin Fields. Breece Hall. They had to ball out. So I'm going to take it as just two offenses beat two damn good defenses. But this week, I'm going 33-14. I think Rodgers, 300 yards, 3 TDs. Typical Aaron Rodgers day.
Yeah, he's back. I actually think that there's validity to that. I don't think it's just he had a moment in the sun because you want to stick it to the Jets. I think there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you guys. Rodgers found the fountain of youth for sure. I will say that. But my difference maker this week is going to be DK. He's going to come out, show Seattle, hey, you want to trade me for an X amount of picks? Then you know what? I'm going to come back and throw in your face.
Right on.
So I would say DK is going to be the difference maker this coming Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be a player of game. 6 catches, 120 and 2 touchdowns.
I'm seeing that.
He's going to throw it in Seattle's face and say, hey, I'm back, and this is what you guys are missing out on. But
hey, Nash, and you know how Aaron Rodgers is. He's the type to be like, I need you to burn them. He'll throw it to DK just to.
Well, yeah, it's like the revenge tour. Last week it was Rodgers. This week it's DK.
Yeah.
But I also think Pittsburgh gets the running game going because they got some talent back in that backfield.
They look good,
Gainwell, Caleb Johnson. I mean, you have a three-headed monster at backs.
They look good, man. They look
Oh,
good.
you only rushed the ball 20 times last week for 53 yards. You got to get those guys
You gotta
more
get 'em
involved
going.
with the offense.
Yeah, you got to get
So
them going.
I want to
man.
say it's going to be like a 30-13, but I could see it definitely being along like, say, like 27-10 or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Rodgers gets his 2 touchdowns. You get the running game going. Your defense does what it did last week.
Yeah.
TJ Watts has another big game. Darius Slay actually played pretty good. Jalen Ramsey made the stop in the 4th down.
Yeah.
So they have that complete team that many teams don't have.
Yep.
So they could be one of those teams that sneak up on you as a top 4 seed come AFC if they keep playing the way they are.
Yeah, I have them number 2 in the NFC North behind Baltimore. Yeah. I think they'll make like a 7 seed, 6 seed, 7 seed.
Hey,
Yeah,
last time they were 7 seed, they won the Super Bowl.
If Baltimore keeps messing around in the 4th quarter, because they had that issue a couple of years back.
Yeah.
You
Oh my God.
Man. You never know. And Tomlin has had, for the most part, done well against Harbaugh, so that'll be interesting into itself. The Sam Darnold magic just isn't going to be there for the Seattle Seahawks this season, and I think he's going to look the guy that he was with the Jets and with the Panthers.
I wouldn't say that bad, but again, they got to get that running game going. You got Kenneth Walker and Dak Charbonnet.
Yeah, got to get the running game going.
And to be fair, it hasn't been the easiest sled out of the gates. And I will say this, that San Francisco defense, who they played last week, they benefit immensely by bringing back Robert Saleh. I think that he's very comfortable in that role, and he's going to do good things over there. And we'll get on that in a sec. But we're all on the Steelers. No surprise here. Could be a surprise in this next one. The Battle of the Felines. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at 1-0 going to Cincinnati. They are 0-2. I actually got to retype that. I accidentally put it.
I was like, wait a minute.
They should be 0-1, but they
should be 0-1. Because I was looking, I was like,
it's just like something I'm so used to.
You know what?
The Bengals won this past week.
I was looking at that, and I remember I was watching that game, and I cut it off. And I was like, damn, they lost? But I see you have it up there. I'm like, I thought they won. But anyway, we can still talk about it.
For sure.
They should have lost.
Yeah, I'm just fixing that spell in here.
Jacksonville in beating the Panthers did not impress me last week. Not at all. They should have blew. I mean, they did beat the Panthers by a good margin, but I watched that game because I'm in the Carolina market, and I was like, they should have beaten Carolina like 35-10 or 35-3. They did not look good, and Carolina looked like crap. They looked like crap. They wasn't running the ball. Bryce was in. That's another game. But I'm just saying, it's all talking about Jacksonville. Cincinnati should have lost against Cleveland. Should have lost against Cleveland. But that's Cincinnati. They start slower every year. They start out 0-1, 0-2 every year. So, but I think this week, they're at home. Jacksonville's not impressive. I'm going to say Cincinnati doesn't go 0-2 this year. I'm going to go 30-17. Cincinnati.
My fear this week for the Bengals is if the Jaguars could do a decent enough job of playing keep away, which I don't think is out of the question. I think you could be looking at a road upset here. You yourself have said that you like the Jaguars better away from Duval.
Yeah.
And the Bengals, they're a very weird team, particularly in September. But I don't like. They're not playing the caliber of defense of the Browns. The Browns got good defense.
Oh yeah.
The Jaguars have the ability to be a good defense. They have moments. I thought they did all right against Carolina last week, but
defense did good. Yeah.
I'm smelling an upset. I'm smelling an upset this week here. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars 24. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals 22 in a lower scoring game. I think that there's going to be some frustration amongst some of these fantasy owners for the Bengals players who last year just put up absurd numbers. I like the Jaguars for the upset in large part. I like Liam Cohen and what he's already trying to implement there. You know, they're showing a little more control with keeping Trevor Lawrence's passes not at that ridiculous
That's the good point,
where
yeah.
he was just chucking and chucking and chucking.
Yeah. Hey, before Nas goes, I do got to mention the fantasy question. If you didn't call me or text me and tell me I had Daniel Jones starting, I would have won this past week. I went from Jones to Russell Wilson.
However,
and Daniel Jones had the game of his career.
However, you did try to overthink it.
I did.
Many analysts were worried about Josh Allen this week too.
Hey, but Nash, check this out. Richie could say this on the show last week. These are the numbers I said Daniel Jones would have.
I was listening.
And he had them in better. And I was like, I collected about $500 today. Yep.
That's why he said that you were joining us. They go, you sure he's going to be awake? Because the last time you were on, yeah.
You were, yeah.
No, that's how he does the quarterback whispering. It's telekinetic. It requires 6 hours of sleep extra. So, like, he does like this telekinetic.
Hey, I called Jalen Hurts. I said, because I said Jalen Hurts is going to be a good quarterback. No, he'll be better too.
My gripe with Jacksonville this week, why are you going to trade your second string running back who's still young and developing for a 5th and 6th round pick? I mean, you don't really have much behind him. You got Travis Etienne, sure, but besides Tank Bigsby, who else is on that team as a running back? And you're going to just basically hand them the Philly and say, here you go. I think that's going to hurt Jacksonville's offense.
Well, they did get Brassel Tootin from, I think, to my understanding, that's what led to the Bigsby trade. You know, Bigsby now more than likely serving as a special teamer for the Eagles. I don't know where he's going to fit in the depth chart behind Saquon, but
Shipley,
yeah, Shipley looked all right. I don't see Bigsby.
Well, Shipley's out for a couple weeks. Yeah. Couple fractured ribs.
He did. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
but like Cincinnati's too much for Jacksonville. I mean, Joe Burrow is going to have a field day. Jamar Chase is going to have a much bigger game this week than he did last week. I'd probably easily say Cincinnati 28-10.
All right.
Yeah.
Especially being at home.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
All right, we're going to see how that plays. A place where the New England Patriots always have a problem. They're in Miami, but they're not going to have a problem this week for one simple reason. The Miami Dolphins don't care anymore. Mike McDaniel would be the first coach to be fired. Tyreek Hill keeps getting accused of everything.
Again.
Tua Tagovailoa, I knock on wood, I hope the kid does not receive a hit even remotely close to what he got in that Bengal game. But this is a team that is imploding. This is a team that made Daniel Jones look like fucking Johnny Unitas last week.
Right.
They are in trouble.
Yeah.
They were my loose pick, to be the worst team in the AFC.
Mine too. Yeah.
Oh my, they are bad. And as God bless you, Glenn Shepard. That poor bastard's in our.
Oh, Glenn. Oh man, Glenn.
Yeah, that guy.
I like Glenn.
The Patriots lost to an upstart Raider team. It's Vrabel's first go with them as a head coach. I was a little disappointed with the Patriots. They didn't run the ball a little better. I don't think they're going to have that problem this week. And I think if Daniel Jones was able to exploit this Miami defense a week ago, what the hell is Drake May going to do?
Right.
This could be ugly. On the road, give me the Patriots 26. Give me the Miami Dolphins. Feeling generous. I'll give them 13. 26-13 in favor of the Patriots. Do I really believe that? Nah, hell with that. 6 field goals beats the Dolphins. 18-13. Give me the Patriots.
Okay.
I look at it this way.
Either scenario, the Patriots win. Either one of my scenarios.
I got my Daniel Jones Indianapolis jersey on. I ordered one. Yeah, I really did. I ordered one. I don't feel ashamed saying that. I ordered one. Number 17, God. Blue. So check this out. I'm gonna wear it on the show when it come in.
Oh my God.
Hey, Daniel Jones all day. Danny Dimes, baby. Comeback player of the year. Watch.
Well, I did mention that could be a possibility.
Yeah, you did say
laughed at by that Houston fan.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he needs to come back. Oh, they lost last week. Anyway, I see Drake May doing to Miami what Josh Allen does to Miami. Running up and down the field, throwing the ball here, throwing there. I think Tua. I was never too keen. I always felt Jalen Hurts was better than Tua anyway.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Miami, New England 21, Miami 18. It'll be close.
Do I still think the Patriots win with 6 field goals? Let's go with the first scenario. They're still going to win, though.
But last time you said 6 field goals, you nailed that shit. What was the last season? It was somebody like, oh shit.
No, if I would have nailed last year's week 2, hey, the Giants are gonna hold the Commanders to no touchdowns.
No touchdown.
But we're still gonna lose because we're gonna give them 7 field goals, and we're not gonna bring our own kicker.
Right. Oh, we brought a kicker. He just hurt. He was like, we're gonna bring our own kicker.
He's all right. He'll be able to execute the kickoff. After that, we'll deal with it. Just go for 2
we'll see
every
what
time.
happens. Just kick it off. All right, Nash.
But yeah, you guys are right. Miami's in disarray. How much longer can Tua stay upright is the question. I mean, they do have a quality backup now in Zach Wilson.
Yep.
But Miami's stuttering quick, and I agree with Richard. He says Mike McDaniel is going to be the first head coach gone this year. Yeah. I mean, if they start off,
he'll probably be sharing spots on our shows.
Yeah, I mean, if they play the way they did opening day, McDaniel's going to be joining you guys by week 8.
Hey,
he's going to reach out to you, and you're going to be like, "I'm sorry, Mike, I'm booked this week. You're going to have to wait, pal."
But I just don't really see much of a contest. Like you said, the Patriots do have a hard time playing in Miami, but I hate the Patriots as much as I hate the Giants and the Cowboys, but I got to take the Patriots on this one, say 24-10.
Yeah. You guys played them. When you guys played them in that Super Bowl, the Nick Foles game.
41-33.
I said, shit.
I won. I think I won 1,000 for that game. I can't remember.
This is like Al-Qaeda versus ISIS. I don't even know who to root for here.
Hey, Nash, on that season,
ultimately, I didn't want Brady getting another one, so I just was like, whoever wins, but I'm not going to speak on it.
Before y'all won that year, that prior year, I said the Eagles going to win it this year. I'm gonna post a video tonight. I said the Eagles going to win it this year, and they won it. And I'm gonna post where I put the money that I won. Every Eagle fan was hitting me. Yo, man, hell yeah.
Well, the year they actually won it, because I go on the road a lot to see my team play. Yeah, I was actually in Charlotte for that Thursday night game when they beat the Panthers 28-23. That was my away game.
Man. That was actually a good game. The Panthers showed up tonight.
That was a great night, great city, great people.
Yes. I go to Charlotte all the time. I go to Charlotte's like beautiful an hour city. Yeah, I'm there all the
Top
time.
2.
I might go tomorrow. Shoot.
I got a cousin who jumped on that bandwagon right when they were an expansion team. When Kevin Green and Lloyd were
Chris Winkie.
Chris Winkie.
Oh my God, that's true. The LA Rams and the Tennessee Titans. Another Super Bowl rematch. If I'm not mistaken, this was Super Bowl 34.
Wait, Rams won last.
Yeah, Rams won.
They spoke about this in Castaway. The former Oilers, the current Titans, still have not won a Super Bowl. Cam Ward's assignment doesn't get any easier. This is another stout defense. The Rams won the war of attrition last week against the Texans in a very low-scoring defensive battle. I'm expecting the Rams to do a little better on offense this week, but the Rams proved last week that they could win the ugly games, which is going to be something that they might have to do as the year progresses. I'm not impressed with Cam Ward. I'm not going to blame him because, like I said, it's a lot different when you get to the pro level. I thought Tennessee did an admirable job on defense, but I think that had more to do with Denver having their head in their ass more than it had to do with Tennessee.
And Bo Nix didn't look good either.
No, he did not. But, it's week 1. Give me the Rams 34. Give me the Tennessee Titans 13. They're going to pound them. Matthew Stafford might actually have a good fantasy day, but I still wouldn't start him. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams each find the end zone at least once. And give me the other touchdown probably from, let's go Kyle Williams there. But I like the Rams to win in rather easy fashion.
I'm going the same score. Everything you said, and I think they'll get one on defense. Yeah, I don't see this game being close. I think they're gonna. I think Cam Ward is gonna get really welcome to the NFL this week.
Yeah,
It's from the home fans. Yeah, they're gonna.
It's brutal.
It's gonna be ugly. Mr. Next.
We have a Super Bowl rematch from eons ago. Say 25 years. How about that? The Kurt Warner, Steve McNair, the half-inch lower line for Kevin Dyson getting tackled. Do I see the same thing this week? Absolutely not. Do I see something similar in score? Maybe because that game was 23-16. I'll be generous. I'll give LA one more point. I'll go 24-16 this week. Cam Ward still progressing. He's struggling. I mean, they got to get Tony Pollard to help him out. But Puka, Devontae, Kyron Williams, too much offense for Tennessee to handle. Tennessee's in a regression. They should have kept Mike Rabel. I love the guy. Good physical mentality, but LA just has too much for Tennessee. So I'm being nice when I say 24-16.
But you know something? Sometimes teams do get bored and play down to the level of their competition, so it wouldn't be mind-blowing.
Hey, Philly does it all the time. We're guilty. And can I give you guys a side note? I know you're going to be mad at me for saying this, but my Philadelphia Phillies, 11, New York Mets, 3.
Well, I'm not a Met fan, and neither is Mr. Salam, so you're not going to see any tears on this end.
Well, the Phillies' magic number is down to 7.
Yeah, the Phillies currently, and this changes frequently, but currently I got the Phillies coming out of the National League, and I've been kind of talking them up over the course of the last few weeks. I'm actually going to have to get on a baseball show in the near future. I think yesterday I just regurgitated watching that 7th inning of the Yankee game. Missed opportunity there, but man, that was rough. Fellas, Idris, you have access to scroll down for our next game, so just we got Nas pick. Idris, we got your pick on here too, right?
Yeah. I had the same thing you had. I just said they're going to grab another touchdown on defense.
All right, I got you. I'm gonna let this one have you guys get at it. I gotta take a quick pace to the back of the house. I will be right back, guys.
Yeah.
All right. We got let me get this thing
started. I think he has the Jets and the Bills.
Yeah, just in the Bills. Bills coming off a victory, 41-40 over Baltimore. They were down by 20-something points in the fourth quarter, and Josh Allen brought them guys back.
Yeah.
The Jets had a good game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Offense was clicking. Defense wasn't. Gonna be a different game this week. I'm going to go with Buffalo. I think it'll be more of the same. I think it'll be more of a mix, a balance with Buffalo run pass. I think they'll shut Justin Fields down. I think they'll make Justin Fields make those mistakes that he tends to make. I think the Jets lose in front of the home crowd, but I think they're better than what they will lead on. I think they'll have a decent season, but I think Buffalo just watching Buffalo play last week against Baltimore. I was like, God, these guys can play, man. I mean, knew they were good, but damn. And I just don't see the Jets stopping that. So I'm gonna go 34. I'm gonna go 34-21 Buffalo.
Not bad. I mean, you definitely won't see a 40-point performance from the New York Jets offense like you did Baltimore. Not even close. I mean, but the Jets did, like you said, showed something on offense. I mean, Justin Fields surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, he really did.
So can they put up some points up on Buffalo? Absolutely. They're not going to be close to 40. So I don't think Buffalo needs 41 points, and they don't need to score 16 points in the last 4 minutes to win this game.
Right.
I mean, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. I mean, if Joe Gallagher was watching, he'd be all about Josh Allen right now. But
yeah,
I mean, score-wise, I would probably say like a 31-17 Buffalo win. Too much Josh Allen, but just maybe more of him was cooked into giving me the Bills winning this thing 37-20.
Okay.
So Especially going on the high end.
Yeah, I just don't. I think the Jets are gonna be good. I really do. I think they're gonna be real good. It's just, God, just watching Buffalo, man, the way they played, man, it was like, because I really thought that game was over with. I thought it was over with, and then I mean they came back, But if Richie coming in, if not, we'll go ahead and move on to the next one.
Well, I mean the outcast, you have Keon Coleman, who played really good for Buffalo last week, but the catch of the game belonged to Josh Palmer to pick up from the Chargers.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Palmer. I think he could really be a good solidified number 3 wide receiver in Buffalo and have a great year.
All right, next game we got the Cleveland Browns. They are going to Baltimore to play those Ravens who just got beat 41-40. And they are so pissed off. Derrick Henry fumbled the ball, which is something he does not do. Cleveland is Joe Flacco starting. Everyone's crying for Shedeur Sanders. Like, yes, I don't think Shedeur Sanders ready for this smoke. And plus, he's number 3, so Dylan Gabriel's going to get the start before Shedeur Sanders. But, as we're saying, Baltimore's coming off a 41-40 defeat versus Buffalo. Should have won that game. They're going to be mad, just like other teams I mentioned. I think Derrick Henry's going to be running crazy. I think Lamar's like, hey, I got to cut this shit out because, he's had a lot of games where they had the lead and the opposing team came back. So I think they get back on there. Cleveland has a good defense, though. I just don't think they got enough offense. So I'm going to go Baltimore 35, Cleveland 20.
Okay, not bad. But let me ask you this. Yeah. You're winning the game. You're up 16 minutes with 4 minutes left, and then you have that big letdown and you lose. Does that affect you going into the next game? Is the question. Do you have that hangover effect that's saying, great, now you got that mentality, like, we can't stop this. How are we going to bounce back this week? So could that linger, and could a veteran like Joe Flacco, who played in Baltimore for many, many years, so he knows the environment, could he actually go into Baltimore and upset the Ravens?
Got a point.
And I'm going to say yes.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to take an upset. Cleveland 20, Baltimore 17 in overtime.
Ooh. So you're talking defense.
Yep.
God. We got to revisit this one. Man. I mean, that'd be a good game, though, 2017. That means
black and blue.
Yeah, black and blue, man. All right. Next up, the San Francisco 49 1-0. They go to New Orleans, take on them Saints. I don't know about the Saints. Me and Richie had the Saints winning like 3 games this season. Spencer Rattler's the quarterback. They got Tyler Show on the bench. Tyler Show did not look good in preseason. Spencer Rattler looked better, but he didn't look that good either. Alvin Kamara looked good this past week. Got to give him that. Frisco surprised me. CMC, Brock Purdy, the man who I said is going to do his thing if you gave him a chance, did his thing. Kittle, I know he got hurt, but I think he'll be back this week. No?
Nope.
Oh,
Kittle was on IR.
Oh, he's on. Oh, I didn't know he's that bad.
Oh, he'll be out till about 6.
Oh,
the Ravens lost last week.
Yeah, it's about 6-7 weeks. Woo. I think Kellen Whitmore is going to have some growing pains as head coach. He's seeing that being a head coach is far different than being an OC. Frisco, you got nothing but veteran on that side of the ball. So I think Frisco's going to New Orleans. I think Brock Purdy's going to find. I mean, Brock Purdy played good last week, so I'm not going to say find the groove. I think he's just going to get better. I'm going to go Frisco 28. New Orleans, as we call it, New Orleans, we're going to go 14. Spencer Rattler gets rattled. In a few more weeks, Tyler Show will be starting.
I'm a little concerned about the absence of Kittle. I still think the Niners will do enough to win, but it'll be closer than it should. I'm going to go 49ers 24, New Orleans Saints 17. I think the Saints are going to hang with them.
Well, my biggest thing is, like you said, Kittle's out. You don't know really if Purdy's going to be 100%. So if Purdy's not 100%, the next option up is Mac Jones. So I mean,
Mac
does
Jones.
Purdy even play is the question because he is questionable. So I mean, I agree with you. It's going to be closer than people think. But the defense is the one that's going to step up and win this game. And their brand new kicker in Eddie Pinero, because they waived Jake Moody yesterday.
They needed to.
That was a long time coming.
So I will take the Niners 23-17.
Right. All right. Chicago Bears taking it to Detroit. The Lions facing one of their former coordinators, Ben Johnson, now coaching the Bears. Both these teams lost in completely different ways. The Bears let the Vikings off the hook. I thought they played a good 2.5, 3 quarters. J.J. McCarthy and company had a great fourth quarter. As the Lions go, they didn't have any good quarters. The best part of their trip was leaving Green Bay.
Right.
I got to think that the Lions are going to try to implement their running game, just kind of get the game tempo going for Jared Goff to open up big playability for Jameson Williams downfield, and for Amon-Ra to just be the dude that masters the route tree and beats the Bears secondary. I think this is a game where you might see Aiden Hutchinson go off. It's going to take a little time for him to be the guy that he was. That it was a severe injury. But I think the Lions are going to kick the Bears' ass, and I think they're pissed off about what happened in Lambeau. But this is the kind of opponent that the Lions need for a get-right game, because I think the Lions are going to run into some trouble this year. Because you don't lose Aaron Glenn, you don't lose Ben Johnson, and everything's just going to be okay. But I don't think Ben Johnson has much for his former team. I don't think Caleb Williams has much for this game. And if the Lions shut down the run, you're going to see some serious Caleb Williams mistakes, and I'm calling for it. Lions 34, Chicago Bears 17, and I'm going to go as far as saying that the Bears will only score 3 measly points in the second half.
Yeah, everything you said. I just don't think. I watched Caleb Williams play this past Sunday. I said he looked good for like maybe 2.5 quarters. Then he just tanked. I don't know what it was. He ran a good ball. Well, he threw the ball pretty decent. I think he might wind up being a good quarterback. I have, how I felt about him at the beginning. I don't think he'll be great. I think he'll be a good quarterback. However, I think Campbell and crew, this is a division game. Another division game, just like the Giants in Dallas, another division game. You can't get behind 0-2 in the division. You just can't do it. But I think Chicago don't have enough. I just don't think they have enough. Young quarterback, young coach, young team. Give me Detroit 31, Chicago 17.
Right.
Well, I'm going against both of you. I said it last night on my show, and I'm going to say it again this week. Chicago pulls the upset. Chicago goes into Detroit with Ben Johnson versus Dan Campbell, so he knows the schemes and all that. I could see Caleb Williams putting up some more good numbers, getting more progressed in this offense with Ben Johnson. I mean, it'll be a shootout, another close game. I would say at the very end, Chicago 26-23.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I'm calling 2 upsets this week.
You're going to be gaining some fans in that region with that prediction. The 2 teams that Peyton Manning played for, the Denver Broncos, Indianapolis Colts, both undefeated in the early going. One of the true shocks of week 1 was what he just called Daniel Jones balling out after being jettisoned by the New York Giants last year. Broncos overcame mediocre offensive play to beat an inferior Titans team. Indianapolis has a pretty good defense. I think most of us already knew that going in. R.J. Harvey is going to still be in an uphill battle to outdo J.K. Dobbins, because when it's put away time, the Broncos trust Dobbins more. The UCF product is more for, just having the home run hitter potential for the big runs. He showed that in week 1 with a 50-yard scamper. I like the Colts defense. but I do not like Daniel Jones against the other defense this particular week. I think Daniel Jones is going to be under duress. In order for them to fight that back, you got to be able to run the RPO well. JT has to be able to have a good game. You need to be able to get it to your security blanket, Tyler Warren, as well. Unfortunately, I don't think any of those things are going to happen this week. Give me the Broncos, and give me the Broncos big. I'm going 27-9 in favor of the Denver Broncos. Daniel Jones is going to have a very rough game. I still think the Colts are going to be trending upward, but this is not a good opponent for them. Two good defenses, but I think, unfortunately, the Colts defense is going to get tired because they're going to be on the field too long in this one.
Okay, here we go. Daniel Jones for the win again. 2-0, Indianapolis Colts. Daniel Jones, here's his stats against these Denver Broncos. Mark my word, we're at the 1 hour, 5 minute mark of the show. Daniel Jones' numbers will be 220, 2, 1 rushing, 1 turnover. Colts win 28-21.
Oh, shit.
Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes is back, baby.
Daniel Jones leads the Colts now. He has a better winning percentage than Peyton Engen has.
If he's right 2 weeks in a row, you're going to have to rename the show the Aegis Salam Show.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake here.
The Aegis Salam, the Aegis Swami.
We had to wake him up. I mean,
yeah. I'm telling you, man.
He's like man. That's all I need.
He's like a hibernating bear. Now he's back.
That's all I need.
Quarterback whispering.
I could see a back and forth game, but I just think Bo Nix and his offense have a tiny bit. I'd say 28-27 Denver.
Wow, so you got Indy hanging. That's the difference with my prediction. I think Indy's going to get smoked out here. But
Daniel Jones is back.
I'm not saying he's never been there. About Indy, if you guys are onto something there.
Daniel Jones is back.
Mixed extra point loses the game for Indianapolis.
Oh, Lord.
That could happen.
These kickers nowadays, you have one job, kick the damn ball.
One job. That's it.
Chuba Hubbard, James Conner, in my opinion, two of the more underrated backs in today's NFL. The Carolina Panthers coming off a disappointing performance in Duval last week. Arizona Cardinals didn't exactly look that sharp against what I was predicting to be a pretty bad Saints team. Kyler Murray, Bryce Young. Could this have the potential to be a shootout? It actually does have the potential to be a shootout. I think Carolina, if they are able to run the ball early in this game and get Hubbard into like a nice game flow, they could be able to go shot for shot with Arizona for at least the first half. I am smelling a shootout here. I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair, but I still think the Cardinals improve to 2-0. Give me the Cardinals 30, give me the Panthers 24, and give me that in overtime. Trey McBride, over the middle, busted coverage. Cardinals by 6 in OT, 30-24.
Go ahead, Ness.
Yeah, I don't see that. I see Arizona just stopping a mud hole in Carolina. I mean, Kyle Mooney, James Conner, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride. That defense steps up. Easily a 28-7 Arizona win.
Right.
No contact.
I'm with Naz. I'm saying 30-10.
All right.
It might be worse.
I might not feel bad because I have a feeling both of you guys might have bought high on the Colts. So, this might be an even trade here.
But
We've got the Philadelphia Eagles going into Arrowhead. This is a Super Bowl rematch. The 3-time consecutive AFC champion Chiefs look to overcome wide receiver depth issues and get a measure of revenge in this Super Bowl rematch. The Eagles were flat in their Week 1 win over the rival Cowboys. As the Chiefs go, that receiving depth chart is definitely going to be problematic. Another problem is they were not able to run the ball with any real efficiency against the Chargers, and I hate to say it, guys, it ain't going to get better this week. I don't think the Eagles are going to be pushed off the ball in the same way that they were against. In fact, Patrick Mahomes to have to fling the ball a little more than the game script dictates. I like the Eagles to go in here and get off to a nice, clean start. And I think you're going to see a continuation of what we saw last February, where the Eagles pretty much show some serious dominance. I think the only difference is that Saquon Barkley is going to be able to run the ball this week, whereas in the Super Bowl, or even last week for that matter, he was quiet for his standards. Philadelphia Eagles 30, Kansas City Chiefs 20, and it's not going to be as close as the score looks. I think the Chiefs might get a late touchdown in garbage time. I think the Chiefs are in trouble. I'm not going to say they're imploding yet because of the injuries. And Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, an excellent tandem. But after seeing what the San Diego Chargers, the LA Chargers, those guys, after seeing what they did to them last week, I'm sorry. And I just don't see Philly playing flat 2 weeks in a row. It's hard to not look ahead on your schedule when it's a Super Bowl rematch this early in the year. And with the Micah stuff and with him leaving Dallas, I do think that a lot of us have been guilty of overlooking the Cowboys. Eagles will not make that mistake this week, even without Jalen Carter. I think the Eagles are going to handle business, but I do expect a bounce-back game. Not that it was a horrible game, but just a more efficient game from Travis Kelce. I think he'll be the Chiefs' best player this week. But Patrick Mahomes, I'm talking 2 turnovers. 1 to Cooper DeJean.
I feel the same way. But I'm going 33-20 Philly. I think Saquon will have a pretty good. I don't think he'll have a big 150 game, but I think he'll get like 90 and 40. I think he'll have a good game. I think he'll start finding his groove. I think A.J. Brown will probably catch a few finally. I still think Dotson's like the X factor, of that 3-headed monster. I'm going to go 33-20. 33-20. I think with Jalen Carter being back also. Yeah, Mahomes is going to be doing a lot of flip-flopping passing because Carter's going to be out in his face. 33-20 Philly.
Well, my X factor isn't even an offensive skilled player, but it's the health of Landon Dickerson on the offensive line. He's pretty banged up, coming off that knee injury. He had a back injury, so he left early last week versus Dallas. So does he come back this week? Because if not, you got to rely on someone like Brett Toth to cover Chris Jones. And I'm not taking nothing away from Chris Jones. He's a great plug hole. So if you don't have Dickerson matched up against him, Barkley, again, might not have the game that you think he's going to have. He'll have 75, 80 yards for sure. You're definitely going to see Hurts running the ball like he does. The difference, though, in this one, Eagles wide receivers versus KC wide receivers. Because Worthy's questionable. You still have Rice who's suspended.
Yeah.
What you got?
Got Pacheco.
Hollywood Brown had the weirdest 90-whatever yard game because it still wasn't great efficiency when you consider how many targets he had.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, offensively on paper, Philly dominates KC. Yep. And I love Mahomes, all-time great quarterback, but he showed in the Super Bowl he can't play under duress, and Philly's front four, again, is going to be the difference in this game.
They're coming.
Like it was in February.
Yeah, they're coming.
So, I mean, not being biased, we all know, love my team.
I know.
But I'm not saying 40-22 like the Super Bowl, but I could see another 37-21 game.
I think the thing to that game, KC is going to have to exploit your corners, like Adoree Jackson. That's what we let him go because oh my God, Adoree Jackson, man. He was all right, but
I was surprised when Philly picked him up.
Well, you have Phil Bennett, who you just got from the Raiders. They just worked out Mike Hilton, who played for the Bengals. So if you bring in someone like Mike Hilton, then you put him as your nickelback, and Cooper DeJean is now your outside
Cooper DeJean is a beast. I love that dude.
So we do have holes on our defense.
Yeah. But they're gonna have to exploit that because they're not gonna get nothing inside, man. I just don't see them. With Jalen Carter being back, I don't see them doing anything. They're gonna have to beat y'all deep, and I just don't think Kelsey's not who Kelsey used to be. So I think he'll be effective, but I don't think he's not the same Kelsey he used to be.
Nope. You know. And before we move on to the next game, I want you guys' prediction on this one, both of you.
Yeah, what's up?
Over under 12 times Taylor Swift is shown on TV.
Oh my God.
I said 12. That's my number.
That's kind of hard for real. And even though 12 is high, that's still pretty hard though. Dang.
Because they're gonna show off a ring, they're gonna show up in the press box.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go one over.
Because you just know what Fox is gonna feed it. And
dude, I'm so tired of them Nats. You know what? I hate Philly like y'all hate the Giants, and I don't like rooting for Philly. You know, my cousin is one of your coaches. I love my cousin, but I hate Philly. You know, I want him to win, but I want Philly to lose, and that's how I think. But ever since last season and the year before, I've been wanting y'all to beat the shit out of Kansas City. I'm tired of them. When y'all beat them last year, and the way they beat them, I was like, yeah.
I said this on a previous show not that long ago.
Yeah.
That while I loathe the Philadelphia Eagles, at the same time, when I think about the great dynasties in the history of this league, it would have upset me if it was the Kansas City Chiefs that were looked at as the first team to three-peat in the Super Bowl era. I've said this before also, that if the merger happened a little bit earlier, Green Bay would have been remembered a lot more fondly.
Yeah.
With the pre-merger going into the new days.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean,
and I don't
right now, in my opinion, after what I saw in week one, even before some of the receiving issues, Kansas City Chiefs have been through a lot of battles. And I think that this is a decline by their standards. I don't think this is a fluky 0-2 start. They might be in danger of missing the playoffs because of schedule difficulty.
Yeah.
Going into the year, I thought the Patriots were going to be the 7 and the Chargers are going to miss. Maybe the team that misses is the Chiefs, and that might be a little far out on my behalf, but it wouldn't blow my mind.
You know, I don't hate the Chiefs. Don't get me wrong, because see, like, I got a Chiefs jersey, Otis Taylor. I met him as a kid, so I don't hate the Chiefs. I really don't. I just hate the Taylor Swift shit. That's the only thing I hate. I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of it. Al Michaels is right. I'm tired of it. So I hope Philly beats the living shit out of KC.
Yeah, but the only thing I hear about Sunday, I gotta listen to Tom Brady.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not, and you know I'm not no Brady guy, but I thought that he did well in his assessment in the Commander Giant game. I'm not gonna put him on Tony Romo's level, but I thought he was all right.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football, he is. Sees the Atlanta Falcons at the Minnesota Vikings. This Falcon team could have played into overtime and possibly won. Younghoe Koo, not Young Ho, you pervs. He blew the game. He blew the game last week. Something that's uncharacteristic of him because he's been a very, very good kicker for a very long time. You can't trust
them hoes, man.
No, man. Michael Penix coming off a good statistical value day in a losing effort. Minnesota late got the contribution from J.J. McCarthy. Things were looking up. Things were looking good. I expect a close football game here. I'm going to go high 20s, low 30s. I think J.J. and the Vikings offense will be a little more, fluid early in the game as, it took a little longer in that Bears game. Bijan Robinson has got to get going. There is, the Drake London injury. We'll see where that pans out. Darnell Mooney, he's dinged up. Kyle Pitts just doesn't catch footballs very frequently. Give me the Vikings to start the season 0-2. But I do think Atlanta will hang around, and it could very well come back to a similar situation where Younghoe Koo has an opportunity to tie this game. And I unfortunately have him missing a game winner again, and then you're going to start hearing the whispers of, because, it's a very fickle business, especially with kickers, where they're going to start whispering, is he washed? Is everything okay? Missing the game winner. Give me the Vikings 27. Give me the Falcons 24. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the same score they lost by last week, too.
Yeah, I think with J.J. McCarthy, I forgot who said it on the show. I mean, not on during the broadcast, that him playing this past week, Monday night, was basically his preseason. because he didn't get any play. Yeah, so I could understand how he was rusty, because I noticed when he started picking up in the third quarter, he started feeling like, okay, and then boom, they made that run. So I think he got it out, got everything out. Penix looked good last week. He really did. He looked good, but London, Pitts don't like that. Pitts, Mr. I don't want to catch the football, but man, pay me some money though. Bijan got to get on. That guy's a beast. He's a hammerhead. He reminds me of the Barbarian, Marion Barber. He got to get going, but I don't think he'll get going. I think he'll get going this week, but I don't think it'll be enough. I'm going to go Minnesota 28. Miami. Minnesota 28. Atlanta. I'm going to go 17.
I'm going to rewind the clocks on you a little bit. 1998 NFC Championship.
Oh my, the Gary Anderson.
Oh my God, the Gary Anderson miss.
So you had Falcons visiting the Minnesota Vikings. Okay.
They got cheated out of seeing. They're up there, dude.
Yeah,
they're up there with the 07 Patriots and the 90
Yo.
Bills, in my opinion, as the
He
three
missed the
greatest
only
teams,
kick
single
in
season
the-
teams to lose their Super Bowl.
the only kick he missed the whole season.
But why I'm referring to this game because you got two similar offenses. You have Atlanta Falcons who depend on the run with Bijan Robinson and Michael Penix, and then you have a Minnesota offense that relies on the pass with Jefferson, Nayland, McCarthy, and all of that. So you're going to have another back and forth game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go the same exact score as that game, 30-27. But this time, Minnesota beats Atlanta.
We're all on the purple.
All right. Just a
I'm going to
sidebar.
back a
here.
couple years.
I would never want to see anyone get injured, but it would be cool if Kirk Cousins had an opportunity here because I actually think that he would beat these guys. Because Kirk Cousins has like that September magic, like last year with that random what just
He doesn't
happened.
play good in prime time.
But you see what he said about leaving? He said he thought they was going to re-sign him.
Yes.
He didn't want to leave.
I watched that on the quarterback series.
Yeah, he didn't want to leave.
One of the real good guys in the NFL.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Houston to take on the 0-1 Texans. The Texans came up short, low-scoring affair against the Rams. Their running back situation right now is going to be a little down because you got Dameon Pierce and a recovering Nick Chubb. You don't have Joe Mixon; he's also recovering. We talked about the Koo missed field goal the Buccaneers were able to escape. I like the home team here. I have a feeling that the home team is going to blanket the Tampa receivers. They have a really good secondary out there in Houston. And I think that they're going to win at the point of attack and limit Tampa's running game. I think Baker Mayfield will play gutsy. He will keep the Buccaneers in the game, but he will not do enough to win the game this week. It'll be close, however. Give me the Texans 24. Give me the Buccaneers 20. I think the Buccaneers will have an opportunity to win the game late, and they will turn the ball over. And I'm calling it now. Baker Mayfield's hitting the deck 4 times. The Houston Texans get their first victory. It'll be close, though.
I'm flipping the score. I'm going with Tampa Bay, but I do believe they'll get to Baker Mayfield, and I think Baker Mayfield will turn the ball over as well. I just think Houston is missing a lot, man. I just think they're missing a lot. That Tampa Bay defense is not great, but they're good, and I think they'll do enough to win. I'm gonna go same score, but in Tampa Bay's favor.
I will say this, Idris, if you are correct, it's because of that reason with the running back room. If they can't run the ball, Tampa will find a way to beat them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can't run the ball, man. They'll just sit back in coverage. Like, okay, throw it.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you on that.
My biggest thing is, like, C.J. Stroud had an amazing rookie year. Everyone thought he was going to come out being an all-pro quarterback, but where has he been the last few years? He had a great offense last year.
Mm-hmm.
Had a top three wide receiver duo. Didn't do it much of anything. This year, barely didn't show up last week in L.A. What happened to C.J. Stroud is my question. What happened to that top 2 pick that everyone was so high on? He's completely falling off.
He's turning into an Ohio State quarterback, which I hope he doesn't.
I hope you're right. I mean, but I just think Tampa Bay has too much for them. I like Bucky Irving. Mike Evans is going to go off. Baker Mayfield is that proven veteran quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Tampa Bay wins this, say, 28-17.
All right. You're feeling good about
Houston has to dig themselves out of the hole again.
That was kind of my score at first, 28-7. You know what? I'm going to go with that, too. I'm going to go 27-17.
I'm going to stay on my island and say that Houston gets the dub, but there will be no tears for me if they don't after that wise ass that decided to tell us what was what.
Mr. Houston fan from last week.
H-Town,
H-Town.
I don't like their sports teams.
They don't.
Especially the Houston Astros.
They cheat.
I don't like them either.
Nah.
Monday Night Football, baby.
Jose Tattoo Altuve. Then we got Monday Night Football Game 2. The Los Angeles Chargers, formerly of San Diego. The Las Vegas Raiders, formerly of Los Angeles and Oakland. Yeah. All right. A lot of history here with these two teams. A lot of wild games over the years. I distinctly remember the Raiders saying, you know what, guys? We don't want a tie, so just beat us. Remember that one? That was good stuff.
And the Holy Roller, Dave Casper, the Holy Roller.
Yeah, rather the Chargers pulled that on the Raiders. That was just like, this is just take the tie, and both you idiots go to the playoffs.
Yeah, they want to be pretty and wind up knocking themselves out.
Yeah, that was wild. Pete Carroll, defeated his former team, the Patriots, on the road. Ashton Genty's first career game. This is a cool little matchup of two rookie running backs, Omari and Hampton, Ashton Genty. I think they're both going to be on full display. But quite frankly, the Chargers just have too much. This is not going to be a trap game letdown situation because it's a division game and you just got done pounding the Super Bowl runner-ups. I like the Chargers here. However, I think the Raiders will compete. Give me the Chargers 34. Give me the Raiders 24. The Raiders are not going to go quietly, but the Chargers will outlast them, score more points, and win the football game.
Yeah, I think it'll be close. I think Genty.
Week out of Herbert too.
Yeah. Like I said at the end of the season last year, and I was like, Herbert's gonna be better this year because I've been down on him since he came into the league. So I think he's gonna eat this year, man. This game. Pete Carroll, he's building the Raiders. We can see their identity. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna pad. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna run. We're gonna run. We're gonna pad. We're gonna run. Then we're gonna pad. We're gonna run. So I like the way he's doing because he got his man, and he got the right quarterback for that. So, but I think, damn, Harbaugh, man. I just think they got too much too. I'm gonna go Chargers 28, Seahawks 21. But I don't think it'll be close. I think it'll be a late touchdown, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I'll take the Chargers easily over the Raiders. I just think offensively, Chargers have so much more than the Raiders do. And defensively, I'm a big fan of Derwin James. Khalil Mack can be a difference maker still. So, I mean, but the X factor is the man they just put back this year, Mr. Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen
is going to help Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston that much more.
Yeah.
He had 7 catches last week against Kansas City, probably another 7 catches this week. I'll take the Chargers 28-10.
Oh, okay.
Right, so you got them jumping on them good and early.
I like Derwin James, but Derwin James will hit you.
Over the years, it's been very hard for me to believe in these Chargers just because of what has happened over the years to them.
Yeah.
The one year that I legitimately believed in the Chargers was when they were 14-2, but then they had that diabolical interception that they decided to not take a knee on, and then Brady ended up beating them.
Yeah.
That Charger team would have won the Super Bowl. That was 06, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was the year before we beat the Patriots. That was 06.
Yeah, I think that was a
come back the next week against New England.
Yeah.
But this particular Charger team, the leadership they have with Harbaugh, the way I think he's going to elevate Justin Herbert's game to new heights, I think the Chargers are going to be a legitimate contender going into the playoffs this year. And yes, I said playoffs.
I got them winning the division. May very well.
It's funny he brings up the division because I'm looking at the schedule right now. Yeah. I've never seen a team start with 3 consecutive division games.
Ain't that crazy?
And they could win all 3.
They could win all 3.
and put a stranglehold on that division that quick.
They can win all 3.
Yeah, you're right, Johnny. You don't see that like ever.
Mm.
You might see them end with 3 division games, but not start with them.
They win all 3. That's a stranglehold right there. They win all 3. That's a stranglehold.
Because they got the Broncos next week. I'm looking ahead. So,
couple of things on the brain before we get out of here. As most of you know, tomorrow is September 11th. Hard to believe it's been 24 years.
It don't seem like that long.
No, since that chaos went down in New York. But I had to show you guys a little piece of history that I have here. I'll try to move it up to the camera as best I could.
Oh, yeah.
That is September 10th of 2001. Essentially, the day before the world changed, I had seats behind the catcher on a game that was never played, Roger Clemens versus Pedro Martinez. Ultimately, the game was rained out. We were already at the stadium, my father, my Uncle Randy Rios, and my girlfriend at the time. So we decided to grill, chill out anyway, pound a few beers, and listen to the New York Giants game as they were in Denver. The Giants were coming off the Super Bowl the previous year. It's crazy when you consider that Giant fans that made that trip to Denver, that worked in the Twin Towers, avoided death just by loving their football team.
Yeah.
That in itself is just mind-blowing when you think of it. You saw images today over the years, seen them before, of cars that were not claimed that were in Giant Stadium for weeks upon weeks upon weeks upon weeks. I will say this. I know that over the years, the NYPD has had a mixed rapport with the public, and with good reason, both sides, valid reasons, both sides. But what I saw from a courageous level of guys that you don't know if you're coming out, but you're still going in, there's something to be said about that, because there ain't no civil servant job that pays well enough to take those kind of risks. The FDNY is the creme de la creme, in my opinion, what they did. And shouts out to like all the fire departments around the country that came to help, police units, things of that nature. But the message I want to get at, if there is one to take, you look at the tragic events, whether you like the man or not. What happened with Charlie Kirk today? A very controversial figure. I don't care about political beliefs when it comes to humanity. At the end of the day, violence is never going to solve a damn thing, because we have to get on a better plateau where we can talk about the tough issues, disagree with each other, but keep it in a respectful manner where we can get somewhere and get somewhere better. 24 years ago, despite that horrific tragedy, I felt that as a people, we cared about each other just a little bit more, and we need to get back to that. And unfortunately, 24 years later, we're just more divided than I could ever imagine. And I don't know how much more has to happen for people to see the way we're hurting each other, and the way that just refusing to meet halfway is just causing so much damn chaos. This is not a political thing. I have so much disappointment all around the board, because I personally think that somewhere along the lines, our leaders forgot how to meet halfway and be about the bigger picture, which is the people. But rant over. Rest in peace to all the souls lost in New York City, in the Pentagon. And just thank you for everyone who paid the ultimate sacrifice, the survivors who were never really the same after their heroism. And no matter what you think about the war, no matter what you think about conspiracy theories, no matter what you think about anything, one thing I will vouch for is that the men and women who bravely went into those buildings on the largest rescue mission in world history did not know if they were coming out. And for that, they deserve my respect.
Right on.
That's one of those events that you think back and you know exactly where you were at that moment when everything happened.
Absolutely, John.
I mean, I was only 14. I was still in school. I mean, we hadn't started school yet that year, so I was home babysitting my younger sister. And my friend goes, "The Obama this. Like, what the hell are you talking about?" Put it on the TV, and you're glued for the rest of the day, because like this is your world changing.
Yeah, it was terrifying, Johnny. You didn't get all but 3 stations in my vehicle. My father was in full uniform. When I was coming home from Nassau Community College, my father was in full uniform. He was supposed to be on vacation, and he was setting up to retire that year. He stayed out an extra year with the rescue effort. But there were like fighter pilots going over my grandfather's house. It looked like something out of Enemy of the State. My father, I barely saw him. That night particularly was scary because We didn't know if he was alive. We didn't know if he was coming. We didn't know nothing. We couldn't get in touch with him. He showed up at about, let's say about 4 a.m. And my grandfather and I we lived downstairs, a 2-family house. We met him upstairs and literally had to help the man bathe. That's the kind of condition he was in after that first day. And it just puts in perspective, like, it hit everybody on some level, whether directly or from a distance. I mean, you look at a comedian like a Pete Davidson. He lost his father that day. He's a firefighter. The King of Staten Island was comedically loosely referencing that situation and trying to play it into humor as best he could. But I must say, the world has never been the same, and sometimes I question if for the worse. But
one more.
So try not to forget this.
And then another special shout out. He never took credit for it, and he still doesn't to this day. But Mr. Steve Buscemi.
I love him. Love that man.
Oh, I love
What
Steve.
he did that the weeks after 9/11, going every single day down there, dressed in full uniform, helping out, not wanting any press around him. Look, I'm here as a firefighter. I'm doing my job. I'm trying to help this community heal. Leave me be. Shouts out to Steve Buscemi for doing that.
You know what? I like him, but he's a funny looking dude, man.
That's Tony B.
I love Steve Buscemi though.
Phenomenal actor and a former firefighter who
I love Steve Buscemi, man.
And in a moment of crisis, and from the sports level, I want to give a shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs fans. I will always fondly remember the New York Giants coming out of the tunnel at Arrowhead, facing an 0-2 deficit to start the year. Chiefs fans were on their feet cheering for the Giants to show solidarity with the tragedy. And although it wasn't the prettiest win, Kerry Collins found a way, Tiki Barber found a way, and the New York Giants got a win that our former GM, Ernie Accorsi, said was the most important game of my tenure, not because it was a playoff game, not because it was a Super Bowl, but because we absolutely needed to win that game for our city under all circumstances. And, a lot of sports moments that you remember, Mr. November came to be with Derek Jeter, Mike Piazza with his heroics in that game. And then you look at the heartbreaking way that the Yankees lost the World Series when it looks like we might have stolen it from the Diamondbacks with the Soriano home run. And when I look at the way that we lost that series, which in my opinion is the greatest World Series that I've ever witnessed.
Oh, Game 7.
It was kind of poetic to lose that way because New York lost that year. And while it would have been a sweet story to see the Yankees four-peat, I think it just happened the way it was supposed
to. Yeah, I agree.
Gentlemen, great job tonight. Great job tonight. Yeah. Seriously, I enjoyed this show. Great analysis on all the games. I was able to fire off a little on a few things that are going on too. And it's like, guys, let's just try to be a little better. In general, guys, let's just try to be a little better. I don't want to get into the why tonight. I'm not going to do that, but I just want to say, guys, I see a lot of this caca on social media. Let's try to be a little better, please.
Yep.
For Mr. Idris Salam and for Mr. Johnny Nast, I am Richie. If you haven't already, please make it a point to like and subscribe to the channel, the Richie Extreme Sports Podcast on YouTube. Check out the V-Mix, the Vicious Mix with this guy on Live365.com. Idris Salam. Check out Johnny Nast and everything that those guys are touching.
They got a whole network.
Yeah, Basement Corner, movie room. I'm actually on network. About 9 o'clock, I'll be on the Basement Show tomorrow night. So,
ladies and gentlemen,
really good friend of ours.
He has a one-stop shop,
and a guy that we're glad that we met. One of the best people that we know. Just a great guy. Just a great guy. And for me to say that about an Eagles fan is even more tremendous.
Right.
But Johnny, you're awesome. Much love to you, and always support anything that you guys are doing over there. And I know that you and Joe Gal are going to kill it. I had the pleasure of having both you guys on the show in the past, and we're going to be bum rushing that too, showing up, showing some solidarity for that too. But week
come on
2
over
in the books. Week 2 in the books. Going to be a really fun football week. Big Blue, come on, guys, get it together, please.
We out.
Yeah.